Hello, this is just going to be a brief follow-up because there's a long way to go. This is the Phanteks NV7. It just came out. As you can see, not everything is on because there's a rat's maze of wires behind the back of this. Right, the good things. Again, as I keep saying, this should all be deep red, but because of the camera phone, it's not. But the actual fans are this kind of red. But yeah. Bad things. My vertical mount does fit in here, but it causes havoc with all this down here, and where it fits on there, it doesn't fit right. The one I have is not ideal for this case, and it looks like I need to get hold of a Phanteks one. Because it sits better on here and brings it slightly further away from the AIO and stuff like that, whereas mine is literally just tucked right up underneath there now, right underneath there. So that's one of the issues. So this is why it's horizontal at the moment. Next issue, well, this should be lit up on here, and it will be once I get it sorted. If you have a long motherboard, a large one, it goes right up to these cables, and trying to get a bend on what you get to play with is really difficult. If you've got the more supple cables, it's maybe not too bad, but most cables that you do get, extensions and stuff like that, they're not supple enough, and you can see how much a strain of putting a bend on there because it comes from underneath. It's hard to show you, but it's not ideal at all. And that's took me time to get sorted, and I need to click this back up here because this is like a 3-pin connection where if I push it up and click it, this will light up as well, and I can change everything. The cables underneath here, I couldn't use my red and black because I couldn't get such a tight bend on them. I've had to use ones where I can get really tight bend on it. Again, it's because of this thing. So yeah, the unfortunate thing with this case is it looks great. Once it's all done, it will look the best case I've had. But there's a lot of things where it's certain things only just fit, or you have to have cables bent a certain way. The case really does feel like it was more so designed with using Phanteks fans and stuff, so they can all be interlinked and you have less cable in at the back. The other thing I would say is that if you have custom cables which are just the right length to get from PSU, which is behind up at the top there, to where you need to, that will cut down a lot of the cabling behind there, and that would help. But if you're using standard cables which come with everything, there's not much room behind here, because unlike the Lee & Lee Dynamic XL, which is, it's a shorter case but it's thicker, there was more room to fit your cables in the back. This one only has a skinny back, and it's harder to fit your cables in there. So unless you've got custom made cables which are just the right length, or you've got the kind of cables with some manufacturers where they're like a really soft braid and you can do lots of bending and twisting with them, they might be okay. Or if you're using Phanteks own stuff where everything kind of like daisy chains and interlinks with each other, that might be alright. But I'd say there's going to be quite a few people out there where if you want to have all the fans and having it all doing the shiny thing, you're going to have problems with your cabling behind the back of here because there's not much space to run all these different things. Like I say, unless you run certain things. So I might go the path of getting hold of custom cables, but I would literally probably just need a motherboard one, because you can't really see these black ones underneath here. It's pointless to get custom cables just for that. So I might try and get hold of like a soft sleeve 24 pin, and I need to get hold of the Phanteks vertical mount, so I can actually vertical mount this, because I do like doing that with that. Like I say, the one I have, which is a big vertical mount, which is really solid, it's adjustable, which is really cool, but when you put it on, because the case is thinner and everything, it's really tucked up right up underneath here. I'm not overly keen on that, and it's too close to these fans as well, whereas the Phanteks one, it kind of suspends it. I don't know how strong it'd actually be compared to the one I've got, but we'll see. I've actually put on the GPU brace that comes with this case as well, which is quite handy. It's adjustable, stuff like that. But like I say, there'll be people that stripped all this down, and I will do another video where I actually show it off when it's all done and dusted and looking the way I want it to, which is probably going to be about another 2 or 3 days by the time I get my hands on certain things. But it is going to be a really nice looking case. It's just a shame, like I keep saying, you can't see the colours right, but it's a nice looking case and you can do a lot with it. But cabling, that's one of my big issues that I don't like with it, and because of these fancy bits on here, you're having to do tight bends. And my other gripe is the fact that yes, you can take it apart and do so many crazy things with it, but it's not very user friendly when it comes to if you want to take it apart for cleaning. The Lee & Lee one was really easy to get to the back of this radiator and do some cleaning or dust out the things on there. This one, it's not. You have to take a lot of things out and move a lot of things just to get to where I want to do some certain cleaning things. So it's I mean, I did say to somebody in one of the comments already on this that it's the kind of case that once you get it done and it's looking glorious, you'll hope and pray that you probably don't have to do anything to that case for a long time, just because it's a pain in the backside to take certain things out, move certain things, trying to fit everything in. It's not an enjoyable thing at all, but once it's done, it does look great. But it's, I would say, in all my years of doing these kind of things, I would probably put it in my top 3 of biggest pain in the ass kind of cases to work with. It'll be different for everybody. If you're not putting all the lights on, if you've got flexible cables or shorter custom cables, Phanteks stuff, you'll probably have a breeze. But I would say if you haven't, like standard stuff, you're gonna be a bit frustrated with trying to fit some of these things in certain places. I mean, it sounds like I'm really hitting on the case, but I'm, as I say, it's brilliant case. I'll fall in love with it more once everything's in and done and dusted, but it's not been a pleasure to actually put it together, and I've still got things to need to sort out on it. And I really don't want to show you the back of the case because it's like a rat's nest at the back of there at the moment with all the cables. I'm just making sure everything's plugged in and working as such now. But like I say, 2 or 3 days and then hopefully I'll be able to show it off as to what it should actually look like when it's all finished, hopefully. Anyway, bye.